Liz has written here in this little lovely card to Gabrielle. Enjoy the ride, Liz. Oh, darling, I enjoy every ride. Hi, I'm Gabby. Welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where Claude, my co-host, my Siamese cat, has walked into the room, but he's quite quiet at the moment. Who knows? He may well make an appearance. So if you've clicked onto me and you're thinking, who is this lady? Who is this weird but wonderful, eclectic lady? I'm Gabby. I'm the Fragrantician. I'm the one and only Fragrantician here on this channel. And no, that isn't my ego saying that. I'm proud of being the Fragrantician. So like me, if you are proud of who you are, then you've clicked onto realness. So in today's video, I was kindly sent several weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago now, maybe a bit longer, the new scent, the new sample was sent to me called Epona. Although I want to call it Eponia. I don't know why, by Papillon Perfumes. If anybody doesn't know Liz, she is fanatical about creating vintage scents for a modern era. She is full of sorcery. She is full of, yes, Claude agrees, don't you, Claude? She is bewitching. She is beguiling. She certainly beguiled me with her repertoire of scents. Noted famous Salome, and also Spell 125. Salome and Spell 125 are probably my two favourite Papillon scents, followed by Angelique. The ones that I don't like, because there are some scents I don't like, are Tobacco Rose. And I don't know why I sampled it. Maybe I need to resample it, but it just didn't gel with me somehow. And I thought it would really gel with me was Bengal Rouge. Claude, my boy, you see, my boy, come on then. No, he's run off now. Cats, like women, have minds of their own, don't they? Especially, I would say, certain breeds, Siamese, Orientals. There is another breed I'm thinking of. But most cats anyway, like us women. But anyway, Eponia, not Eponia. Liz, you should have called this Eponia. Epona. This, this was all centered around, I'm assuming, horses. Liz's love of equestrian, and me too. I used to live in France. I lived in France for a couple of years. I worked on a stud farm. No, not that type of stud farm. Although in the evening, you might as well have said I worked in a stud farm. That's another story though. But in the daytime, I worked with horses in Normandy, in France, in Upper Normandy, in Gutteville-les-Grès, near Vaux-les-Roses on the northern coast. And I was only meant to stay there 6 months, and I ended up staying there 2 years. So anyway, and I worked with horses. So yes, I was very, very interested to try this scent. Now, I'll read you the notes. It's an eau de parfum concentration. Like all of Liz's creations are eau de parfum, except one which I have, which is perfume extract, which is Hera. That is a beast. Well, they're all beasts, really. Even Angelique, in its softest way, still billows. They kind of have this little scent encasement. Is that a word, encasement? This scent that encases around you. A scent bubble that is just magical. Was there a cat above me? My cats are playing chase. Claude is playing chase with... Are you playing chase with, Claude? Electra? Your mother? I don't know. They're in right anyway. Let's talk about Epona. So the notes, very, very interesting. Leather, violet, a saddle soap accord, labdanum, vetiver, oak moss, love oak moss, pettigrain, and a horse skin accord. Now, if you've ever smelt horses, I love the smell of horses. They have this, it's hard to describe it. I find it comforting. Maybe Liz wanted to create this kind of comforting, slightly animalic, but yet slightly sweet, because this fragrance is slightly sweet to my nose. I've worn this several times. I still have a little bit left. I'm going to pop a little bit just on my hand here. So let that settle down. Now, I can smell it already. This is the thing with Liz's scents. They have this magical quality of just... I don't like the word wafting. Let's use the word billowing. It billows in the air. These scents, they will outperform most other scents, but it's scent without ego. There are a lot of scents out there, but that are just unashamedly, just completely agog, that will just suffocate if you overspray them. Now, this definitely does have this saddle soap accord, which I adore. There is this soapiness to there. It is that you've just dipped what you clean the horse with. You just dip the brush in this kind of soapy, watery feel, and yet it has this kind of like this stable... If you feel like you are walking through a stable, that's how it feels. You're either going to love this scent or you're going to dislike this scent. It's not going to be a scent that is going to be mass appealing to everyone, but who cares? That's not what Liz is about. And I'm looking at you, L'Oreal. Yes, that's not what Liz is about. She doesn't want to make scents that appeal to the masses. It is an indie. It's that brand that has that... Her audience is an audience that... And I'm not trying to be egotistical here by saying it's for an audience that has a trained nose. It's not like that, but it's for people that... It's not a scent house you just, I just buy that scent and see what it's like. It's not like that at all, because of the artistry that has gone into it. It won't go hand in hand with the person who is wearing it. Does that make sense? Now, on me, I don't know why, when I wore this, the violet was really pronounced, and it kind of had a flashback memory to me of when I was living in France, because when I lived in France, there are a lot of fields with sunflowers, and also it was a farm and there were violets growing as well. And it took me back to the summer of 1995, 1996, where there I was in Guebwiller with my boyfriend, Enrique, who was Spanish, by the way. It was the summer of love. We would go horse riding. We would do unspeakable things in fields. I was 20, 23, 24. He was completely broad-minded. Well, he would have to be with me, wouldn't he? And, well, I would have to say, actually, the family I lived with were very broad-minded. Ménage à trois comes to mind. Yeah, that's how broad-minded they were. I have no qualms. I have no regrets about what I've done in my life. None. Well, maybe one, but that's another story, and that involves my mother, and that I'm putting to bed to rest. Put in bed to rest. But anyway, but this scent, the violet in this, it's very green with the oak moss. I don't really get the petitgrain in this, and I don't really get the labdanum in this on my skin. I mainly get this leathery, soapy violet scent that smells of, it feels like, I don't know why, and I don't know why, this is just my connotation. It is quite, because of my memories of in France, smelling those violets, it has a feel of eroticism about it. That's just my take. Slight eroticism. But it has innocence. It has innocence. It is, to me, it's just memories of horse riding along the cliff tops of Valeros, horse riding in the Normandy countryside with poppy fields, violets abound, and it's a very, and I'm going to use the word in this context, it's a very gay fragrance, gay as in uplifting. It is, it's gaiety. It's all about gaiety, I find in this. Completely different to Salome, completely different to all her other scents. There's not really one other scent that I can really pitch this to if you own. And that is the beauty of Liz. She creates artistry and wizardry with creating scents. Her mind must always be agog with creativity. She was put on this earth to create perfume. She was put on this earth to care, to be compassionate. She's a Cancerian, to have that soul that has innocence, but has knowledge, but has a slight frailty, a slight fragility to it, but strength to it as well. This scent is fragility, this scent is strength, this scent is almost empowerment, and I adore it. I will be getting a full bottle of this. This is going to be added to the list. I do have Anubis, which I do want to get. Anubis and this are full bottle worthy. I adore it. I adore it. The longevity on this scent. Now, I would say longevity isn't as great as some of the other scents. It lasted on my skin about 6 hours, which is fine. However, it did project quite a lot. And then when I couldn't smell it, I could then smell it again. And Richard could smell it. And he actually said to me, he said, oh, it smells quite clean and soapy. It does have this clean, soapy feel to it. But the violet in this, I feel, is also the star. And it's a soapy violet. It's nothing like Insolence from Guerlain. It's not your sweet, berried violet scents, which I don't like. You'll have to love a green oak moss violet scent with that soapiness to it. So it's a big thumbs up for me. Tobacco Rose and Bengal Rouge, maybe I will revisit at some points. But most of Papillon scents, I find, are their artistry. They're not crowd pleasing, I say. And Liz herself puts a little piece of her into the bottle. I imagine after the bottle is done and the production is done, Liz must feel like something out of her soul has almost gone into it. So Liz, I hope you do take something back, because she gives so much. This sounds quite abstract, I know, but because she gives so much of herself into a scent, mentally it must be exhausting as well as physically. So Liz, take stock of yourself, have some self-care for yourself. I'm sure you do. And watch this space, because after this scent has been launched, because Liz only lives about 40 minutes away from me, I will be visiting Liz. So watch out for a vlog, watch out for a day with a perfumer. I am so looking forward to that. Sometime maybe in early September. We're not sure of a date yet, but I will let you know, because I'm going up north to see another scent friend of mine, Dr. Claire Smith. So hopefully it might be before then. It may well be after then. I don't know. But keep your eyes peeled. But until then, if you do want to sample when it's launched, I think the launch date is, I'm not sure of the launch date, I'm going to be honest. Go on to Papillon website. You can message Liz herself. She will always answer messages. Her perfume profile is Papillon Artisan Perfumes. So Epona, although I won't say Eponia for some reason, is this violet saddle soap scent memory that I have in France. So on that note, if you like what I've talked about, please give a thumbs up. Here's to positivity. Here's not to negativity. Until next time, remember, my slogan is aging is always inevitable, but staying young at heart is a choice. So I will see you next time. Toodaloo, chickens.